Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing great. Having a great week of practice here, great week of preparation. Get ready for the game, obviously, on Saturday. Our goal right now is just continue stack days, make sure our guys are preparing, finishing off the week, just getting them ready to play however long we need to on Saturday. Any questions?
Clayton, you guys were really able to contain Pavia very well in the game at Nashville last year. Is it easy to think you could replicate that this Saturday, considering you guys lost some personnel and their offense seems to be a bit more explosive?
Obviously in the SEC, none of those are easy, to be honest with you. So obviously, they're doing a really good job now on offense of being very balanced, and he's the playmaker. So we got to do a great job of understanding who he is and what we have and what we got to get done in regards of our plan.
After having to juggle through some of the early injuries to this point in the season, how do you feel like the guys who were called upon maybe a little earlier than expected responded in those situations?
They did the best they could at the time. We had a couple of guys go down kind of back to back and kind of all at once. Not all at once, but obviously, in a short period of time. But I feel like our guys were locked in and focused, and I think that's always, you never know when your number's going to get called. It's a next man up mentality. But definitely was pleased with how they did, and obviously we got the job done.
Clayton, can you just evaluate the way you've seen on tape, the way Vanderbilt throws the ball on offense now? It seems like, I think Shane was mentioning it yesterday, they throw the ball downfield a lot more. Is that concerning for you at all with the way the secondary has kind of gotten beat on some of these 50-50 balls?
Yeah. Obviously, they definitely doing a pretty good job of just pushing the ball down the field. I do believe that we continue to work, and obviously we'll get better at some things. We understand some strengths and weaknesses, what's going on, but right now, definitely not concerned, but our guys are continuing to getting better.
Eli Stowers is obviously really important to what they do offensively, and this year he's got a ton of yards after the catch. What's kind of, I guess, the emphasis on making sure that if he does catch the ball, limiting him to the yards he has once he catches it, not letting him get a lot of the extra stuff that he's gotten?
Well, one, they do a great job of making sure he gets his touches. He's a really good tight end, probably one of the better tight ends coming back in the country. Definitely a weapon down the field, short routes and down the field in the seams. And on the sideline, he does a really good job of moving him around. But obviously, our guys, we got to tackle the man with the football first and foremost, just basic fundamentals. And we believe in population to the football. I think that also helps as well.
Clayton, what did work so well last year against Pavia?
I do believe that our guys, obviously we always motivated internally. No matter who we play, no matter what game it is on the schedule, we always fired up and ready to go. I think that was important. I do believe that they understood that Pavia was a guy he's a playmaker. So you got to do a great job of plastering on the back end. You got to do a great job of at least making him run around. If you can't sack him, make him run around, get out the pocket, throw the ball away.
What dictates how you rotate your linebackers?
Yep.
Is it about rest or is it about packages?
It's just about reps, trying to make sure the number doesn't get too high when you feel like you have 3, maybe 4 guys that can have a starting role, but trying to just keep that numbers at a good spot. Don't want to get that number to get too high before the end of the season.
What's been your message to the guys this week to remain consistent with the big challenge up ahead?
Yep. That's something we always preach on and harp on about, just being consistent, stacking days back to back. Our program is built different, I think, than most programs in regards of how you're starting with the top with Coach Beamer. But I do believe that our guys understand that every day is like a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So 4th and 1 every single day. So we definitely continue to push our guys. We have physical and competitive practice on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and just that in itself is going to keep your iron sharp.
Not asking you to say too much about the injury report, but you've got a lot going on in the secondary with guys who have been out. Have you had to do a lot of shuffling around with guys at different positions to be sure you have enough healthy bodies who are trained up and ready to go at one spot? Or how comfortable do you feel with the depth going into this game?
No, we feel great. We feel like our staff does a really good job of identifying some things early in the South Carolina State game that we want to make sure we handled before it got out of control. But we feel really good about things on all fronts.
After these 2 weeks, I think Shane's mentioned, hey, our DBs aren't getting beat, but they're just not winning those 50-50 balls. Have you guys changed at all how you practice those or put an emphasis on it this week?
Nah, we just obviously, you got to have certain drills and certain opportunities during practice to replicate those situations. But our guys are they're still confident. They still believe. I mean, you're probably not that far away from knocking that ball down or picking it. So we just got to time it up better and just continue to be competitive and understand that it's a big man sport, and so you got to do a great job down the field. That's where you make your money at.
Clayton, I'm sure Vicari's always been a confident kind of guy out there at corner, but have you seen his confidence maybe rise on defense after his success on special teams?
Nah, he has not changed. That's the beauty of some of our players. Like, they have success, and we've been there before kind of mindset. So, some people have some success, don't know how to act when they get there, but our guys, we know how to act. So we've been here before, and we act like it, and we know how to carry ourselves. He does a really good job of that.
I don't know how much you've had to tell your guys about some of the stuff Pavia said over the summer, or was that something that you knew guys were familiar with, or has it even come up?
Yeah, I mean, it's a podcast world right now, so I'm pretty sure they saw it. So, like we said earlier, we get motivated by internally here, so we don't need other things to really get us going. We also try to motivate the guy beside us, so we don't really need anything else, to be honest with you. But our guys will be fired up, ready to roll.
Obviously, a lot of people talk about how Norris turns it on in the fourth quarter, but your defense consistently was doing that in big games last year. I guess going against someone like Pavia, who's obviously displayed a lot on and off the field, just what does that bring to the firepower of your defense as a whole?
Great question. I feel like our guys understand, we're finna enter SEC play. I mean, most quarterbacks are going to be dynamic as we go down this road here, and Pavia's obviously one of the better ones that you're going to face when it comes to that mode, and he has a competitive spirit about him that kind of also rubs off on his football team. So you have to respect that, and we got to understand that fourth quarter comes that we got to make sure we're on our P's and Q's, because you have a great feeling that a player like him will.
I imagine discipline and assignment football is important in every game, but is it even more of an emphasis in this game with some of the things Pavia and they like to do with from an option standpoint?
Nice question. Yes, I would say when you are playing a team of that nature, you definitely have to kind of go back to some old school roots in regards of taking care of your business, do your job. It is kind of have some option aspects to it. We face that quite a bit with our offense sometimes in the spring and in the fall and throughout the week. But it's definitely an eye tester. You definitely got to make sure that you're sharp and you can't get too nosy. You can't get out your gap. You can't think that you can go do something, because they'll definitely make you pay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.